Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It has been a long time since I've seen you. It has been, in fact, since season two, since I've spoken with you. And it is actually season three. And I'm excited to be here with you today because this is a very important time as I go into season three. I said season three would be a continuation of my series that I've been doing since season one. So, season one, I did spiritual transformation. Season two, I did transformation in your soul. And season three, I am intended to do uh, transformation in your body. And so I'm excited to be here. I am your host, Tina Boyle Whyte. It's been a while since I've heard from any of you. So if you so desire to reach out to me, please do. Don't hesitate to do so. I want to thank WYTV7 for being the host, the Christian Broadcast Network, whereby I'm able to do this presentation with you on today. And I'm excited because this is really a very important time and season in my life. And I'm not sure if any of you have not been at a place where you have had transformation and season changes. This is definitely the time in which seasons are changing. And the only way that seasons aren't changing is that you're not being sensitive to the time and the time frame of what's happening in your life. And with that being said, today, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what's happening in season three for me. Season three, I opened up with season two with some very critical information about who I am and who I am being in this life. And season three is not going to be any different than what we've done before. I'm really excited. Some changes have come along the way. I'm evolving, since season one. I got several evolutions of growth and change. And that's what I want to invite you to be open to this season, is to be open to growth and change. And as I set out there, the things that I want to share with you this season, I want you to just be open to, what is in store for you. And I'm really excited about that. Before I go on, I want to just share with you a little bit about what the Bridge Broadcast Show is all about. The Bridge Broadcast Show is all about the gateway to getting you from where you are to where you need to be in life. And we focus on the whole person. We focus on the spirit. We focus on the soul, and we focus on the body. And so, from those three things, you will always hear something from us regarding one of those areas in your life. And so today, again, won't be any different from what we've always done. Just take the time to just say a few things to you. But before I go on, I really want to share with you something that is exciting that is happening in this season. And this is what is happening in this season. I am having the Journey Conference because the Journey Conference is something that is a spinoff of what we've done with the Bridge Broadcast Show. Out of that, this life we've discovered is really a journey. And, you take one day and one step at a time. And so the Journey Conference will be happening 9/13 and 9/14 of September here in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. And the conference schedule is essentially Friday night, a night of inspiration, 6:30 to 9:30. Saturday, 8:30 to 4 p.m. And then Friday night, 6:30 to 4 p.m. I made an error. Saturday night, I got to change that. Saturday night, 6:30 to 4. Dear Lord, I really made a bad error. So forgive me, I'm human. I'm just a show that's reaching out to help make a difference in your life. But Saturday night is going to be 6:30 to 9:30. So I will correct that. So I'll stop sharing that so that you don't get confused by that. But what it is that I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to tune in and catch me where you are, where you will have the opportunity to experience what it is that we're doing with the journey. And as a part of season three, you will walk with us through the journey on discovering more about who you are from a spiritual foundation, from a soul foundation, and from a body perspective. How do we take all those things and bring glory to God, our Father? how do we bring those into pass? And so that's what we're going to be doing this season. And, this is going to be, a brief a show. I want to talk to you a little bit about this book right here. There is a season, and that is based off of Ecclesiastes 1. And, when you think about Ecclesiastes, or Ecclesiastes, yes, it's really essentially talking about a time and a season for everything in your life. And when you think about the time and seasons, what time and season are you in? What is the season? Are you in tune to what time and season you are in? This is now the third quarter. If you were based on an annual year, this is the third quarter. If you were on a federal or government year, the season would have ended July 1st. If you were on a government annual, the season will end September 30th. If you're on a calendar, the season ends December 31st. But just looking at places and seasons in your life, do you know what season you're in? Are you sensing what's happening right now? Are you sensing what there's a need? What is happening on the inside of you? What's going on that you really need to be thinking about, that you can really take into consideration as to, am I stuck? Am I moving? If I'm moving, where am I moving to? How far am I moving to? How fast do I need to be moving? It's just this whole visceral, sensual experience through faith that you're having to understanding the time and the season. And one thing that I want to read from this book today, it says, Ecclesiastes is quite clear. The first thing a person is meant to understand is that there is no such thing as being born out of time. And I like this one, that this Ecclesiastes from this book that I'm reading is that you weren't born out of time. Our time is now. The era into which we are born is the era for which we have responsibility. The era for which we are meant to be a blessing. And when you think about that, some people say I was born into the wrong family, or I was born during the wrong time, or, that, the timing is not right. And when I think about, seasons and timings, being an African-American female, I can't even imagine what it would be like to be born in the 1900s. All the amenities that we have now that we've come to know and be very comfortable with. You think about the Industrial Revolution, you think about all the revolution, the agricultural, as all that changed over, the Wright brothers, I think about the Wright brothers, the makers of the auto industry, looking at the shift and the seasoning. And you wonder. So here's the thing that I'm talking to you, that we're born when we're supposed to be born, and when we allow ourselves to be sensitive to what God is doing, you do the things that is necessary. And I want to say, Carter G. Woodson was the person who took the peanut and made over 300 inventions out of the peanut. And excuse my history if it's wrong, but he was born for such a time. And from what I remember reading about him, as he took the peanut and he sought wisdom from God, and he was able to get so many inventions from that peanut. When I think about the flying industry, I love flying, and I think about the Wright brothers, how they were able to form, the first airplane. They were able to create that, and who but a God like ours can help us be able to come up with so many things. And so, so I said the auto, the plane. What are some amenities? Apple, Microsoft, those who created that. We've already lost a pioneer in the tech industry. And it continues to grow because God still has use for all of us. And so when I think about that, there is no such thing for being out of time. For the era of which we are born, we have responsibility to make a difference and bring light to that era. And so coming to now, I know I'm talking to people all around the world who's in different places, and yet I might be in a first world country, but if I'm talking to you and you're in some other country, God has a direct purpose and plan for you, even if you're in some other place or some other country. And so one of the things that is very important to me in this season is really stepping into that place. And I am doing the Journey Conference. And I want to tell you a little bit about the Journey Conference. He shared with me one night that he was raising up leaders. And he this is for his army. And there is such a time as this that he's raising up people, and he's causing people's gifts and talents to be used to bring glory to him. And so if you have a gift and talent and you've ever wondered, how can I make a difference? He wants to use your gift and talent. He wants you to be able to be a blessing to the environment. It is our responsibility to do that. And it's not just, we're not just born to live this life and then die and hope to go to heaven without having made a difference on the earth. And so, I'm reaching out to you to say, do what God has called you to do. I recently preached a message called Are You a Yes? And in the preaching that message, it was profound. And it was looking at the seasons in your life, the phases in your life, the journey of your life, to determine, where you are and how you've progressed. And everything in our lives have really played a part of one part of or another. Something triggered something that triggered something else. And what I've discovered is it is all about being in alignment. And so if you wanting to be in alignment with God, I need to take off my glasses. You want to be in alignment with God, then just get to a place where you're sensitive and you're hearing what he's saying to you. What is he saying to you in this hour? What is he asking of you in this hour? And it doesn't matter where you've been in your journey. It doesn't matter what your past is. It doesn't matter what mistakes you've made. God's grace is sufficient. And I'm not saying it's okay to go out and just not be obedient to God, but his grace is sufficient. He has need of you. And so what are you doing in your journey to glory to God? The scriptures say, if I be lifted up from the earth, I will draw all men unto me. And within the Journey Conference, I and those who will join me will be lifting up his name, glorifying his name. And it's not my responsibility to draw men. It's God's responsibility to draw men. And so, as I step into a place, and I have to be honest with you, to be vulnerable in that, we say yes to God, and saying yes to God, we don't know what all that entails. It may entail having a sickness in your body, or it may entail going to a place that you're very afraid of. It may be something as simple as speaking. Many people find themselves afraid of speaking. And so I just want to tell you, in your journey, I want you to step out. Step out and take personal responsibility for the time you've been born in. And this is the time that I've been born in. And I feel the great responsibility to step up and do what God is calling me to do in this season. And so, before I go today, I want to encourage you to really step into that. And when I say step into that, step into what God has called you to do. And I want to invite you to, stream along or check my page out for the conference, because I'll put the conference up. It'll either be streaming, watch for that, or I'll put it up shortly after we are done having the conference. It is, I am so looking forward to what God is doing in this season. You know, it says, God, whatever you're doing in this season, don't do it without me. Do you feel that way? Do you ever say that? Do you ever say, God, don't do it without me? And if you are a part, if you are looking for a community of faith or a community or a tribe to be connected with, connect with me. Connect with me and the community God is building. He's building up some leaders and he's equipping leaders for this hour. And again, if you are not part of a community of faith, it's not a, I'm not saying I'm making a church, but it's a community of faith. If you've ever wondered, God, I feel out of place, or I don't feel like I've been born for this time, or I don't know what my purpose is, or, you know, those things, reach out to me. Don't hesitate. God is looking for you. He's drawing you. He's drawing you, the leader, to say, come on, let's go. Let's go. We got work to do. And if you feel like you got work to do and you don't have any direction, I want you to reach out to me. Reach out to me today. Reach out to me and share with me, and let's be a part of this community of faith. Please join me on the Bridge show, our Bridge Radio show Facebook page, or reach out to me. You could always go on my webpage, tinaboylewhyte.com, or email me at tinaboylewhyte@gmail.com. I'm here waiting. I'm obedient. This is what God has called me to do, and it's a matter of you. You know, we always say, God, I'm waiting for you, but actually God is waiting for you to make that next step. And so if this is part of your next step, I'm encouraging you to step out and say yes to this next phase, because this is an exciting phase. Don't let something tragic happen to you before you say, God, I'll serve you. No, serve him now. Serve him now. Serve him now. Don't wait. Give him your life and see how much more blessed your life will be. Well, you know what? It's been another great show. And before I want to go, I just want to remind you of the Journey Conference. And I should have changed that slide before I go. But please keep in mind the Journey Conference. Look me up on Tina Boyle Whyte. It's going to be Friday, 6:30 to 9:30. Saturday, 8:30 to 4, and then Saturday night, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. as well. Overlooking that error that I made, please do join me via online or in person. It will be a true blessing. Again, as I say, it is always a pleasure to be with you. I look forward to seeing you on the next time. And remember, you've been born for a time such as this, and you have a personal responsibility. I need you to step into it. God bless and see you soon.